that I make, yeah, we turn it around. I just wanted my own way. It's coming on I'm in, but we turn it today. These choices that I make, yeah, we turn it away. Fortune favors the bold, but I'm arrogant today. I said I'm arrogant today. If it ain't making me no money, then get it out my face. Gotta get the ebook published, yeah, that shit's on the way. Girls call my name, saying they wanna see Tay play. Think she want me to stay. You're missing the bag. Forget all the hopes and the dreams that you had. There's more on your plate. The women can wait. It gotta be clean so they know that you wait. When you get in the fast, then you gotta stash. Invest in the breast so you double your cash. Invest in the breast so you double your cash. Invest in the breast so you double your cash. Been running for a long time.
Oh yeah. Forgot. Can't do that. Yo, what's good, beautiful people? How we doing? This live might get flagged because I played that song. I am 7 minutes late because I was trying to find the right song to play. That's why we're late. So it's really Tay's fault. Yeah, it's really Tay's fault that we're late. How we doing? But hey, is what it is, That's the way the cookie crumbles. Can we all hear me? How's the audio doing? We got Tay 8 in the building. We got Dr. Strangle. Very loud music. My fault, Dr. Strangle. My fault, bro. We got John the Maven in the building. What's good, Brody? I got the nudie for once. I'll try to make it. Let's go. So we got Karibo, Golden Angel. I like that. Golden Angel. Michael Dorsey in the chat. What's good, Michael? I walked 20,000 steps a day feeling accomplished. I hear you. Nice. Good. 20,000 steps. That's a lot. I don't know if that's a lot compared to what like New Yorkers walk or people that have like construction jobs and stuff. It sounds like a lot though. 20,000 miles. How are you guys doing today? Audio is good. Beautiful. Gotta make sure we're straight. Yeah, Tay, that's this live's probably going to get flagged because I played that song and I forgot that song was also like part of your thingy. You know what I mean? But it's cool. I'll remove that so I can get my Boku Dinero and all that other stuff. So yes, tell me, how's your guys' Tuesday going? What's new? How is life treating everyone? Where do I need to be? I need to be over here, Band Lab, and I need to be here first. Excuse me. While you guys are telling me about your weekend so far, I'm going to be telling you guys exactly why we're here today. It should be okay. Okay, gotcha. 20,000 steps would be around 10 miles. Oh, that's a lot of walking. 10 miles in 8 hours? And you got to factor in work time, doing work and stuff. That's actually a lot of walking. That's a lot of respect. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Karibo says, just schooling people on chakra while cleaning the house. Hey, Karibo, we gonna get into it, bro. Shout out to Karibo. Man, oh man, that Karibo is a character, bro. So yeah, we're here today because there's been a lot of recent chatter, again, about this whole Genjutsu working cross-verse discussion thing. And I feel like this is a conversation that will never truly die, much like Naruto versus Ichigo, or Ichigo versus Luffy, or Naruto versus Luffy. I feel like there are certain core conversations that the fan will never let go of and never let die. One, because it's extremely, well, for some of these things, I'll say, it's extremely subjective, meaning there can't be any, not valid, what's the best word I can say? There aren't enough concrete facts to force a concession from one side. There aren't enough concrete facts with some of these conversations. I do not believe Genjutsu working cross-verse is one of these conversations. I don't believe that. But with some of these conversations, there's just not enough information. So, where do we want to start? The Discord. I think we'll start on the Discord because that's where I am. All right. So, let me pull this up over here. I'll go up, read a couple things, then we'll go to Twitter, then we'll watch my video, then we'll watch Sage's video and stuff like that. Why does it say my audio is like low? What is this? Oh, that's her speaker. Okay, rewatching The Boys. The Boys is a good show. Who is my favorite character in The Boys? Let me think about this. Let me think. I think the Deep is funny, but for like the most weird reasons. Like I have no idea why he's funny, but the Deep is pretty funny. I like the Deep. He's really funny. Butcher, of course, is hilarious. Mother's Milk, is cool. Huey's kind of funny too at certain times. Homelander is a riot, but I feel like everyone likes Homelander, so I like to stay away from that kind of stuff. But Homelander's hilarious too. Been sick like a dog. Oof. For the last week. Damn, bro. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you get better. Is it allergies, Dr. Strangle? Or is it more so just like under the weather? Because it's beautiful out. Well, for where I am. I'm in Maryland. I don't know where you're at, but it's sunny as mess over here. I don't know how anyone could get sick. But I do hope you get better. Oh, don't worry. I'm playing hooky from work this week. Oh, that's hilarious. So you did 10,000. You did around 10 miles of walking while playing hooky from work. What were you doing all day, bro? Were you just walking the block, walking the city, the street? But seriously, I'm just using some of my vacation time. Okay, that's dope. John the Maven, thanks. Just got over to home. Nice. That's what's up. Definitive. Definitive is a good word. Yeah, I think that's a good word. There aren't any. Well, definitive. Yeah, no, that word does work. That word, it fits what I'm trying to illustrate here. Yeah, definitive works. Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy's cool. Soulja Boy's also funny. I didn't know he was the same guy from Dean and his brother Sam, I think, from, I was about to say Monster Hunter. Not Monster Hunter. What's that show called, bro? Him and his brother, they hunt demons, ghouls, ghosts, and goblins. I was about to say The Witcher. That's crazy. My wife watches the show too. I don't know the name of the show, but I thought, I didn't know he was the actor for that. So yeah, it was the flu or something. Flu around this time. Interesting. Well, they do say everyone gets sick like once a year, so maybe this was just your time. Who knows? Morning was walking in our local botanical garden. Afternoon was an extensive neighborhood walk. Is that your outfit?
Yes.
I like that.
Thanks.
Yeah. What snack are you grabbing?
Trying to see. I want cheese and crackers, but there's no crackers.
I needed you for a second. Not now, but I was trying to think of the show that had Dean and Sam. He was also in Soulja Boy.
Bro.
The chat already told me, but yeah, you weren't here. It's okay. Yeah, Supernatural. Yes, Supernatural though. Dean from Demon Slayer Academy. That's hilarious. Supernatural is peak. I thought it was cool. My wife likes it. You said you never kept on?
I said it was so good, and then they kept going.
And then it kept going. So it got worse over time, like The Flash. So yeah. I don't see how Genjutsu should work cross-verse when other characters from different series don't have a chakra network. We're going to get into all that. Golden Angel. We're going to get into all that. So, for me, though, this started in the Discord, which is absolutely fine. We promote healthy conversations here. I don't know why I'm in the Bleach thing when we should be in the Naruto thing. Or it's Naruto. Okay. And it starts with Luna Ursa. I think she was the first person to send me this, and then Shinigami also ended up sending me this video. So we're definitely going to cover why Genjutsu works cross-verse. I haven't seen the video yet, so I'm excited to see what he has to say. So yeah, Luna Ursa says, apparently, Genjutsu works cross-verse because a close reading of the Jiraiya scene, where he explains it doesn't directly imply that the Keikari, I'm going to just say chakra network, is necessary for Genjutsu, which is true in the case of jutsu that create optical illusions, for example. What does the chat think? I'm on defense myself. Okay. So, I didn't have time to respond to this because I was responding to a couple other things, plus just being overall busy. But I did. And to her point for this, I've said multiple live streams, I've said multiple times, I have no problem with things like real-time illusions working. There are two types of Genjutsu that I talk about within the series, right? People will normally say, oh, well, you have Sharingan Genjutsu, then you have everything else. No. There are two types of Genjutsu that really exist. You have real-time illusions, right? And these are going to take place in reality. And then you have, let me give you an example, right? You'll have real-time illusions. These are going to take place within reality itself. So think the fourth Mizukage Clam Genjutsu. Think those two Chunin changing the names on, or changing the numbers on the door of the Chunin exams from 302 to 303 or something like that. Think the one in the Force of Death, where the rain ninja. These would be classified as real-time illusions. And then we have Genjutsu that are mental attacks. These ones operate within the confines of the opponent's mind. Right? So this is where we get our Tsukiyomis, our Kodo Matsukamis, Tayuya's demonic flute Genjutsu, anything that is affecting the mind itself, or if you want to say the soul, because I don't really mind. Like I said, yeah, I don't really mind. But anything that's affecting like your inner mind, your mindscape, all that stuff, those are mental Genjutsu. So what she's talking about here, where's the quote at? She says optical illusion, for example. I have no problem with optical illusions working, because we see within the story that optical illusions do not directly affect one's chakra network or chakra system to any degree, right? No one's taking control of that chakra. No one's inserting any chakra. And we know this because Genjutsu like that, and I pretty much say all this in the video that I have on the two types of Genjutsu. Those type of Genjutsu can be seen through with some rational method. That's the important part, right? You don't need to release it. You don't need to get hurt or cause pain. That's not going to work because nothing's happening internally to you. All that's happening is I don't want to say distortion, but you're seeing a false reality, whether it be like a chair that's not really there, Sasuke getting hurt by kunai and all this other stuff. But the main thing is you can see through it with some rational method. Whether you smell something is up with that. Like, hold up. He looks like he's bloody, but I don't really smell blood. That's not really how like someone who's bleeding would sound. All right, whatever rational method that you have at your disposal, that's what you would use to see through a real-time illusion. Versus the mental attacks, where we clearly see on screen many times, they actually have to start releasing the Genjutsu and disrupting their own chakra flow. Kabuto's feather illusion jutsu would be a mental attack. It would fall in that realm. So I have no problem with this, right? She says, which is true in the case for optical illusions. Yeah, again, no problem with that. It's very funny. I had cereal too, Becca, when I came home. And she's ignoring me. Perfectly fine. We move on. Well, she says, I now favor the idea that having a chakra network isn't necessary. Physical contact in chakra... I'm just joking. I said I had cereal too. She says, I now favor the idea that having a chakra network isn't necessary. Physical contact and chakra injection would suffice to apply Genjutsu on anything. And given that there are just illusion Genjutsu that don't really affect the beholder with any chakra, I think Genjutsu generally can work cross-verse. So yes, it still sounds like, to me at least, she's talking about real-time illusions, which again, I have no problem with. I haven't really heard anything as far as like the big stuff, so we'll see. It stands to reason that the chakras... let me zoom in for you guys too. It stands to reason that the chakra system isn't necessarily required for Genjutsu to be used, even though it is, because there are chakra nerves in every cell. They say that Naruto should have fried Kakuzu's neurons if this were true, but their claim requires Kakuzu's eyes to be obliterated Two, because there's chakra points and pathways there and in the brain. As far as I remember, Kakuzu still had at least one eye working when Kakashi had to deal the finishing blow. Rasen Shuriken doesn't even kill Kakuzu. That is actually funny that's actually kind of funny to think about. It really didn't kill Kakuzu. Anyways, this is reinforced by how Tobirama describes the biology of the Sharingan, as well as, by the way, I believe all you have to do is loosely imbue chakra into a target, which is done through many non-living objects there before. So living things have no reason not to be vulnerable to chakra injection. Cool. So chakra injection is also something I touched on within my Genjutsu video. It's very lightly because it's not like the main focus of the video or anything like that. I have no problem with chakra being able to be injected into pretty much anything, right? The argument comes though, it's like energy being inserted versus actual function taking place. And then the example I even used in that video was like, well, if you take a lightning rod, right? You take a metal rod with electricity on it, and you happen to touch a computer or touch a TV. Will that thing automatically turn on because there is now electricity or power running through it? No, it would not. That's silly. In most cases, it would get destroyed because there's nothing to actually keep that current alive, keep it circulated, and all this other thing. So yeah. Especially when their claim is that chakra isn't involved in putting someone in a genjutsu on the end of the target. They're not necessarily manipulating their target's chakra, just manipulating the chakra they're using to mechanically apply the jutsu. Okay, cool. And then she puts a link from 6. Genjutsu does not work in cross-verse. There's a little back and forth here. And then Osama puts in Sage's video, Genjutsu doesn't work, cross-verse, reacting to 6's video, which is hilarious, right? And then, of course, Sage has his own video. So, yeah, we're going to go through a lot of this stuff. It's going to be fun, right? Yeah, it's going to be fun. Oh, yeah, let me take a look real quick, see what we yapping about. Surrounded by goats. Ursa the goat. Oh, no, she definitely is, bro. She be putting in a lot of work. If Genjutsu can just go through the body, what the fuck does people get affected by Genjutsu just hitting the back of their head? Exactly. So real quick, let's jump over to my video. We're not going to watch my video. We're just going to do the AI overview to get a summary of the finer points that I say in the video. And then we're going to get into this thread.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it.
Oh, hold up. Okay, let's do this. Summarize.
Just by thinking about it.
Summarize the key
44,
points of his argument.
A complete
Okay,
AI
I
creation
have no
platform.
idea what that was.
Describe what you want. And watch it take shape.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be settling one of the most toxic debates in all of power scaling. Okay. Anyways, let's do that again. Summarize the key arguments and points in his video. Cool. Or we could just watch the video. I don't, Cool. So, the video argues that Genjutsu is a mechanic strictly bound to the Naruto universe and cannot function cross-verse. Here are the key points presented. The mechanism of Genjutsu. The creator debunks the common misconception that Genjutsu merely targets the 5 senses. While senses act as a medium or entry point, the actual mechanism requires the manipulation of the target's chakra as it flows through their cranial nerves. Without this specific internal chakra flow, Genjutsu cannot trigger. Sensory organs as a gateway, not targets. Using examples like the demonic flute or shutting on Genjutsu, the video explains that simply attacking a sensory organ isn't enough. Strategies like using earplugs or avoiding eye contact work because they block the catalyst required to insert or manipulate the opponent's chakra. Cool. So we get that, right? You can't just Genjutsu the body and then it'll work. We understand that the eyes, the ears, the mouth, and the nose are mediums for Genjutsu to work, not the actual cause of it. The role of the chakra circulatory system. The creator asserts that a chakra circulatory system is the essential foundation for Genjutsu, drawing a comparison to electricity. The video demonstrates that just as electricity requires a designated circuit to power a device, chakra requires a specific network to move through the body to the brain, to the body, to move through the body to the brain to produce effects like illusions. Even if a character in another verse had chakra, the lack of this biological infrastructure means the technique would fail to activate. So, I hope you all understand that point. The chakra network is what moves. So, and here's the thing, right? Because people's crutch to this is you can infuse chakra into a rock. You can infuse chakra into a kunai. All right. Let's be clear here. Let's be accurate here. Coating a weapon with chakra, imbuing a weapon with chakra, and inserting weapons with chakra, or anything with chakra, is not the same as causing the function that is Genjutsu to take place. That's not the same thing. These two are not analogous. Just because you can insert energy does not mean the effect that is Genjutsu will happen within any given thing. That's not how it works. So, people that don't have these systems, people that don't have the chakra circulatory system, if foreign energy is inserted into their body, we have no idea what would happen. In fact, I think John, on his last stream, mentioned something to the effect of, and we're going to see this in one of the conversations I have, so shout out to John. John mentioned something like the network gets created as the Genjutsu is happening. Now, I personally have issues with that because it would intimate that, well, it would just kind of be weird because from my understanding, all these people are either born with the system or develop the system innately over time. If the system were being created when the Genjutsu would be happening, there's so many questions that spawn from that. Why is each and every person's system the same? Why can't there be new systems created, right? Like, for example, when Naruto gets his chakra points blocked by Neji. Well, if the system is created when things of the chakra, or when things of, that happen with chakra happen to you, why can't there be new? Like, there's so many things to consider. So yeah, and then of course addressing counters. The video addresses the argument that Genjutsu works on those without chakra by clarifying that all living beings in Naruto possess inherent chakra. This is true. Therefore, applying the technique to characters from other franchises that lack this specific biological connection to chakra makes cross-verse usage logically and mechanically impossible. Cool. So that was a summary of my video. Don't want to watch the whole thing because I'm not trying to sit here for 8 minutes and listen to myself, right? Cool. So we got that. Why does my phone keep doing that to me? Okay, cool. Where we at? Can you give the Discord link? I can. Give me a second, Give me a second. Oh, hold up. Whose birthday is it? Oh wait, no. Let me get to that comment actually. I don't see how Genjutsu should work. Oh yeah, can you give the link? I will. Ursa the goat, surrounded by goats. Baki Naruto, because the former doesn't need chakra to induce illusion/hypnosis. Low key. Yo, Ab-stract, it's my birthday. I'm 27 now. Hey yo, congratulations and happy birthday to you, bro. That's what's up. Happy birthday. Nice. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
My wife says happy birthday to you. Clotar is Mugetsu. So yes, happy birthday, bro. Baki characters can die from their own imagination. That's crazy. We got Gene Fox 70 in the building. What about Infinite Tsukiyomi? Are we asking about the Infinite Tsukiyomi? Hey, Gene, didn't I respond to you? Gene, who are you? I know I responded to you, Gene. I literally just looked at our conversation, Gene. I was just talking to you. Who are you, bro? Not who are you like in real life, but I mean, I was just reviewing a conversation. Anyways, it's fine. What about the Infinite Tsukiyomi? No, the Infinite Tsukuyomi would work pretty much the same as any other mental attack Genjutsu. It would have to first, infiltrate the body in some way, form, or fashion, traverse the chakra circulatory system, then get to your cranial nerves to activate that Genjutsu. Can you give Discord link? I will. Well, first get my actual Discord, and then I can give you the actual link. Where did you get the term chakra nerve? Did I say chakra nerve? Or did Luna Ursa say chakra nerve? I think she said chakra nerve, but I'm pretty sure she's getting this from the fact that the cells have a connection to the chakra network, and them being severely injured or damaged compromises the chakra network. I'm pretty sure that's where she would be getting it from. Correct. Kukatu had at least one eye and could still hear / talk. Kukatu. Kakuzu. That's hilarious. The issue is the manipulation of other materials with chakra would lean towards the network not being necessary for Genjutsu. It in fact wouldn't lean towards that at all. First off, no other organism that is imbued with chakra is as complex as the human body. That's number one. That's number one. Mirai has used Genjutsu on someone from behind him. That's fine. That just means she got into their body via some other means or method. And I don't know the Genjutsu you're talking about. I don't know if it was a real-time illusion or a mental attack. So that's number two. Freaking ads. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, yo. So for the ads, we're going to get the super chats and we're going to get a thingy. But I'll probably take off the ads live stream. I'll probably take them off while I'm live. I'll only have them after, catching on VOD. Hand sign Genjutsu like Kurenai and Mirai don't require the opponent to see, hear, or smell anything they are doing. You said hand sign Genjutsu? Hand sign Genjutsu? I'm so confused. So are these Genjutsu of the mental attack kind, or are they of the real-time illusion kind? Could we just interpret Jiraiya's statement as once you put Genjutsu chakra in someone, you then manipulate it by running it through the cranial nerves? Could you? Once you put Genjutsu chakra in someone, you then manipulate it by running it through the cranial nerves. I think that's essentially what's happening. That's essentially what would be happening. Yeah, you either inject your own chakra or you're taking control of their chakra, because I know the Naruto community is actually split on whatever one is happening. So I just like to cover them both, and so. But I think that's a fair interpretation. It's just that within Naruto, anywhere chakra can flow, at least how I'm looking at it, would necessarily mean there's a pathway for it to go. At least that's how I look at it. And when you look at the fact that Naruto was able to completely destroy Kakuzu's chakra circulatory system, like completely, and the fact that it was on the cellular level, and the cell is the smallest unit of life, if I'm not mistaken, it would suggest that the chakra network is integral to the entire process. Like, not the entire process. It would suggest to us that the chakra network exists on such a minute level, right? But then when you start getting all the body parts involved, okay, you got your heart, you got your brain, you got your lungs. Cool. That can be impacted by like things like Gentle Fist and stuff. But still, on the most minute level of a Naruto character or a ninja or even a person, you can be affected by things that destroy the cells or severely destroy them as well as Naruto did, at least. Not like everyone always has chakra in their cranial nerves, but the user runs chakra through it to manipulate it. All right, so not like everyone always has chakra in their cranial nerves. I don't know about that. We're going to get into why I don't know about that. Because it's my position that, and I always say this. Hold up. I've been saying this for a very long time now. When we get into this chakra conversation, and maybe it is time to actually do a formal video on chakra. Maybe it's time to do a formal video. Because every time I do a video talking about chakra, it's in regards to one aspect or another about the power system, right? Oh, I'm talking about chakra as it relates to durability. Oh, he's talking about chakra as it relates to the souls. Now he's talking about chakra as it relates to Genjutsu. maybe it's time to do a full-on bleach level analysis breakdown on chakra. Maybe that is time, right? Because from my understanding and from how I'm interpreting this information is that everyone has chakra, and everyone has the mixed versions of the chakra. Now let's get into the bag that I always get into, right? We have physical energy, we have spiritual energy, and we have the two combined, right? But then we have to take it a step further. Then we have the two combined for the purposes of jutsu, and we can't forget stamina, because stamina is where those two things, stamina is what makes up those two things independently. Physical energy, mental energy, those are your stamina. Collectively, those are your stamina. Those are the things you're pulling from to do what you're doing. Bye, Becca. Have a good time at the gym. And then we have physical energy and spiritual energy, or mental energy, mixed together. We have them mixed together, and then we have them further molded together for the purpose of jutsu. That's how I now look at it from understanding and hearing different arguments and different interpretations of this information, right? So let's start here. Let's start with this. And let me catch up on some comments before we go. It's like saying if you put poison in an inanimate object, the thing would be poisoned like a living thing. Exactly. Thank Ayo Karma. That was a perfect way to put it. Yes. I don't know why we're expecting a function that happens to humans to also have the same process or same effect to another thing that is not a human. I don't know why we would be expecting this. Chakra networks are part of the anatomy of Naruto characters. It literally doesn't exist in a cross-verse. There you go. Shout out to Yonin. We got Yonin in the chat. Hey, we might be getting into your thread with Sasuke Souls to Yonin. Yeah, it wasn't a super strong argument, to be honest. I was just trying to figure out how humans went from not having chakra to having it via Hagoromo. So yeah, John, I don't believe humans never had chakra, bro. That's not my stance. I'm not saying you're saying that's my stance. I'm saying I don't hold that to be truth. I don't find there isn't any, there isn't strong enough evidence in the series to suggest that Hagoromo went around giving chakra out like candy. There's just not enough. There's actually no evidence to suggest he did that, aside from Madara. And maybe it's worth watching my Genjutsu video so I can actually, Anyways, let's go through this conversation first, right? Why Genjutsu fails cross-verse. So I posted this, when the video came out, January 24th, 2026. 1,705 views. Shout out to the Twitter community for supporting, bro. I like that. Now, Davs, you guys know Davs. Oh, look, we have Noodles here. Hold up. Listen to some of the arguments and have determined they suck. He never comments after this, so I'm completely fine with leaving this, what sucked about them. I'm completely fine with leaving this here. Anyways, Davs. Shout out to Davs, because Davs is the only person that has made a debunk thread to my video, which I respect. I respect people getting in the ring. Now, you guys can judge and assess this, of course, unbiasedly. Don't root for me just because you're in the stream, whatever. If he has a good argument, I want to hear you guys say he has a good argument. He has a good point. If I remember correctly in this, because I just reviewed it while I was at lunch at work, not everything in this gets fully addressed, but the bare arguments and the core points do get addressed. So, quick debunk of why Genjutsu fails cross-verse. He says, you agree that chakra is a universal energy system and equalizes with most, if not all, energy systems. Your only contention for it working cross-verse is the lack of a chakra network. Your argument presupposes it is a solid physical network like the circulatory system. So already here, I don't want to say flags should be going off, but flags should be kind of going off. We're going to let them cook. But of course, flags should be going off, just off rip. It's okay. I don't got to get into it. It's okay. He then says... He says a pre-existing network would be required for Genjutsu if and only if it is a solid physical system. Otherwise, this system is just an energy line / path through which chakra flows, and thus the ability to manipulate chakra and knowledge of the path it flows creates that system. Very interesting argument. Let's read it again. He says, a pre-existing network would be required for Genjutsu if and only if it is a solid physical system. So in his mind, this can only work on people, and this can only work in Naruto specifically, if it is a solid thing that people have, because otherwise people outside this verse would not have this solid physical system, is what he's saying. All right. Otherwise, this system is just an energy line / path through which chakra flows, right? So he's saying, okay, cool. If it's not a physical thing, he's saying abstract, it has to be a physical thing. Otherwise, it's a metaphysical or subtle body system through which chakra flows, and thus the ability to manipulate chakra and knowledge of the path it flows creates that system. So, John the Maven, to your credit, what you said, because I watched your live, right? I didn't finish, but I watched you live. What you said in that live actually has some, I don't want to say backing or credence, but another person has also espoused this type of thinking, to where this system is being created by the very use of the technique. I almost did a hand sign. The system is being created by the very use of the technique. Now, again, like I was saying, on its face, to me, it does sound ludicrous. It sounds out of this world, and it sounds ludicrous, because the first thing I ask when I hear these things is, well, where in the series are you actually pulling this from? That's what I have to ask first. But like I said, we're going to let him cook. He says, this network has nodes that can be blocked, released, and one can even forcibly inject foreign energy without any adverse effect to the network itself, proving it is not a solid physical construct in the body. Now, I don't know if that would prove that. All that it would prove is that it's not harmful to the body. It wouldn't necessarily prove that it's not a physical construct within the body. So we have that. He says, for example, if someone wanted to force foreign gas into a pipe, it would be impossible, not without a methodology that preserves the pipe after breaching it. So I don't know if I like this one, because we have to understand that the body is one entire organ, and we have skin, right? And we have pores on our body. We have pores, which are literally small hole-like openings on our body. So you could breach the body without having to damage the body. You could actually do it. So this analogy is not analogous to what would even be happening with chakra, because chakra is even more subtle than gas, being that it's an energy. Most people, no, not even most people. People can't even see chakra. You can't see gas either, but you get what I'm saying, right? Anyways, but if gas flowed along the pipe with no physical container, foreign gas can be added seamlessly, right? He says, similarly, the fact that foreign chakra can be added to these nodes seamlessly suggests that the network is not a solid container. The fact that foreign chakra can be added to these nodes seamlessly suggests that the network is not a solid container. That's a little hard. I don't know if I don't remember if I know what he means by solid container. I'll have to investigate that. He says, in summary, you need chakra to be put in a Genjutsu. Most, if not all, verses have chakra. They just call it something else. You still need a chakra network. He's quoting me. You still need a chakra network. And look, he even did the I'm smart emoji. That's hilarious. Having chakra is a step away from having a chakra network. It just has to be circulated. The caster does that. So cool. I think in totality, his entire argument is the chakra circulatory system is not a physical system. And since it's not a physical system, it's not something that's limited to Naruto characters. And since it's not limited to Naruto characters, and since it's a more so subtle or metaphysical system, that when Genjutsu is enacted, it creates that pathway or system for you, is what I believe he's saying. So I respond with, I agree physical and spiritual energy exist. But as far as I know, Naruto is the only verse that consciously or unconsciously mixes these energies to get chakra. So it would be chakra and the chakra network. But ultimately, my point really doesn't need chakra itself, but it's okay. He says, irrelevant to the point of if it works or not. I said, I'm clarifying my stance, not making an argument. That was an irrelevant comment. Oh yeah, that's right. We just go a little bit back and forth. I don't think there's, no, there's nothing in here yet. Yeah, this was just a misunderstanding. It's okay, cool. So let's go to his actual points real quick, or my points if I remember. Let's see. Where do I answer? Okay, yeah. So like I said, a lot of these don't go far, but the one conversation that does go far actually speaks somewhat volumes to what is going on here. Let me see real quick. Okay. So he says a pre-existing network would be required for Genjutsu if and only if it is a solid physical system. Otherwise, the system is just an energy line/path through which chakra flows, and thus the ability to manipulate chakra and knowledge of the path that flows creates a system, right? So the enactment of chakra-based attacks, or Genjutsu specifically, is what creates the chakra system. So I say, not sure why that must be the case for either position. It could be physical. I'm saying it could be a physical system, metaphysical system, or a system that lines the entire body in a subtle way. In either case, it's a system that only exists within Naruto, right? And you would have to prove otherwise. You would have to prove that, number one, what your stance is saying is true, and that this system is actually getting created when the attack or when the enactment of a Genjutsu is actually happening. He says it only exists in Naruto because it is a self-made system, not an inherent one. Meaning, in a cross-verse, it doesn't matter that the victim doesn't inherently have the systems. The attack would create the system. And there's the actual claim. So I was kind of skipping ahead for you guys, but this is the actual claim he has. So I find this to be extremely interesting. This was the first time I've ever heard it. And I never shy away from new information. So if you got something I've never heard of, I'm going to take a vested interest in what you're saying. I say, so someone is creating the Tenketsu and chakra pathway system as they're attacking someone with chakra? So when Kabuto attacked Naruto's chakra system, he created that system that the Nine Tails allows to heal him, then destroyed it? Wouldn't really make much sense. At least, mind you, that's how I'm looking at it. Because I don't know if he's saying right now that when the system gets created, it stays created. I don't know if he's saying when you get attacked by anything chakra based, the system just appears like you're in a video game. I don't know if he's saying when you're in the... Come on, bro. Stop calling me. I don't know if he's saying when you're in the vicinity of chakra, the system gets created because it's resonating with Earth. I don't know what he's saying. What in the actual fudge? The fuck, bro? Okay. Apologies. Hopefully that didn't throw anyone off. What I'm getting at, though, is we don't know. If that is what you're coming with, the system is created when X happens, we don't know, right? Dav says you only create the system if the victim hasn't already done it themselves. Oh, hold up. So the victim can do it themselves. The victim can do it themselves. This would tell us, since everyone has the same system, this would still tell us that it's linked to Naruto. Because you're not going to tell me that the system doesn't exist, but then when it is created, everyone's creating the system the same way? No. That would mean that there's a genetic marker or a genetic blueprint in these individuals that all have the same system. That's what that would mean. That's what that would intimate. That's what that would suggest. He says you only create the system if the victim hasn't already done it themselves. Tenketsu is used mainly to block chakra usage, meaning when in use, the target most likely already has and is using the pathway system. Naruto, and then his rebuttal to my Kabuto question is Naruto already had the system. So, me hearing this upon the first time, I'm just curious, what are some examples of someone creating the system themselves versus someone creating the system for them? What chapters can I reference? Because that's the big question when people start throwing around these type of positions, arguments. What chapters can I reference? Now, Dav says there are no examples or anything at all regarding the origin of the system. Just that most living things have it. Fair enough. He then says, have an honest conversation or we can end it. You don't see me asking for examples of people being born with it. Here's the thing. It's not my burden to prove people are actually born with it. It's my burden to demonstrate that the system is consistent, that the system doesn't change, and that the system is there for all individuals that live in the verse. That's it. That's all I got to do. Whether or not they're born with it, whether or not they develop it, as much as it would be nice to know, I don't have to fulfill that burden. Now, I have to respond with, this is honest. I'm asking honestly. I really like that question was not a troll question, right? What chapters can I reference? Because this is a new idea. It's very rare when I hear new ideas espoused by Naruto content creators or scalers or debaters. It's very rare that I hear new shit like this just popping up. So I need to know what information you're looking at so I can also look in that information so we can be on the same page. This is honest. I'm just asking where you're getting this information from because it's new to me. I didn't think, and then for me, I'm rebutting his other thing, right? I say, I didn't think anyone would doubt it, LOL. That being people being born with it, right? I didn't think anyone would doubt it. It's a binding force within Naruto, which means it's universal, which means people outside of their planet, like aliens, would have chakra and the system. You can't have chakra without the system. So if you have chakra, you have the system, right? He says, the system in question is one that allows circulation within a single organism. Being a binding force between each organism does not necessitate that. All right. So if it is a binding force, which meaning that it's a universal thing. Hold up. The system in question, he says the system in question is one that allows circulation. Well, are we talking about circulation or are we talking about chakra? Because if you have chakra, you should necessarily have circulation based on the definitions of chakra that we have. Physical energy, spiritual energy. Those two mixed together. Those two molded together for the purpose of jutsu. All those things exist. And all those things can exist independently and still be chakra. Yes, they can. Because, and how do we know that, Ab-stract? Well, we know spirits can use chakra without physical energy. So that tells us spiritual energy by itself can be chakra and exist by itself. Any organism that produces chakra should automatically have it circulating because it's intertwined with the organs that produce chakra. Right. Hold up. Let's read that again. Any organism that produces chakra should automatically have it circulating because it's intertwined with the organs that produce chakra. Dav says exactly, and not all organisms produce chakra. Interesting. Exactly, and not all organisms produces chakra. Interesting. Why would he say that? It's so strange. Like, why would he say that? Only chakra producing / wielding organisms have the system. Any organism that produces chakra should automatically have it. Only chakra producing / wielding organisms have the system. So we're in agreement with that. Well, kind of. While no chakra producing organisms simply have the potential. While non-chakra producing organisms simply have the potential for the system. So he's saying if they don't produce chakra, they do not have the system within them. I'm saying if chakra even exists within you, you have the system necessarily. He says if there should ever come a time when chakra need to be transported through their body. Let me read the full sentence, I guess. While non-chakra producing organisms simply have the potential for the system, if they should ever come a time when chakra need to be transported through their body. Okay. So he's still writing this. The system doesn't get created until chakra is entering in the body. So the thing he would also have to defend here is that you would have to be able to prove that in a cross-verse scenario, people outside of Naruto would also just automatically create this system because chakra is being injected into them. That's the problem with this stance. The problem with this stance overall is it doesn't have any footing, right? He has no references to give me. He has no chapters to give me. He has nothing in a manga. He has nothing in a data book. He has nothing in a novel. And you guys know I don't even like to accept those things. But for outlandish ideas like these, I'm willing to look into other pieces of information or literature. I really am. So, big problem with there. So I say, so you agree all humans in Naruto have this system because they produce chakra. What organisms don't produce chakra? And let's just make sure he said that or agrees with that, because we're going to get to he doesn't, but let's just make sure I didn't, put words in his mouth. He says only chakra producing / wielding organisms have this system. So this is why I said, so you agree all humans in Naruto have this system because they produce chakra. So what organism doesn't produce chakra? This is me. And then I say this potential for this system claim has yet to gain any foundation outside of assumption and headcanon. I have to make that known. I have to bring that up, right? This is headcanon. This is headcanon, right? This is also pyramiding inferences. It's taking positions that are unproven, that are unbacked. It's also conjecture. Unproven, unbacked, asserting them as true to have an argument, to have a foundation. So yeah, this potential for the system claim has yet to gain any foundation outside of assumption and headcanon. It's nice to theorize. If he would have came to me, Ab-stract, this is what I believe. This is what I think. I theorize this. I don't mind having that conversation. I don't need to introduce this comment. I don't need to. But he's coming at me, or he's talking like this is the gospel. And we can actually verify and find this stuff. So, you agree all humans in Naruto have this system because they produce chakra. My question. Dav says no. First of all, not all humans in Naruto produce chakra. Interesting. Very weird. Not all humans in Naruto produce chakra. Okay. He says the majority of them having independent physical and spiritual energy doesn't equal producing chakra. Huh. Okay. I like this. Let me ask you guys something. Well, I should say, let me tell you guys something. When you know what you know, there's no need, and this can go into debate lessons, and John, you can probably back me up on this. When you know what you know, there's no need to jump the gun. There's no need to pull out your pistol and start shooting, right? I know information exists that tells us everyone has the type of chakra that he's talking about, right? He said independent physical and spiritual energy doesn't equal producing chakra. Even though there are scans that say the chakras or the energies, and it refers to those two energies, even though there are scans of that, I already know there's other scans that prove this incorrect, right? So what we do is we gotta walk him down. We have to lead him down that inevitable road that is the correction to this. So let's do it again. The majority of them having independent physical and spiritual energy doesn't equal producing chakra. Same thing can be said for your premise. We're trying to determine which is more likely given the facts we do have. Oh, okay. So which is more likely given the facts we do have? Nice position switch. So I ask him, do all humans have chakra? He says no, unless you mean chakra as the generic term for energy. So the answer would be yes, then all humans have chakra. The answer would be yes, but okay. Okay. So if we're told that people unconsciously, and you guys already know what scan I'm talking about because I actually do this in real life. I say, okay, so if we're told that people unconsciously mix spiritual and physical energy together, wouldn't that mean they are producing chakra? He says, are we told that? Now, I'll say this. what I should have did here was gone more down the rabbit hole for this particular coup de grace. That's what I should have did, right? Because asking these qualifying questions after the producing chakra and independent, I have to see exactly where he's coming from. So, do you believe all humans have chakra? No. Okay. Well, so you don't believe all humans have chakra, and you believe chakra is the mixing of the two energies. Okay, cool. We could have walked them down a little bit more, but establishing that much gives me a lot of room to play with. So I ask him, if we're told that people unconsciously mix spiritual and physical energy together, wouldn't that mean they are producing chakra? And note to self, I should have worded this better and I should have led him on more. When I review this, I will keep that in mind for the next time I talk to somebody. Come on, load up. Load up on me. Okay, we'll go back. Okay, don't know what's going on. Oh, okay, there we are. So let's click here. So, are we told that? Are we told that people unconsciously mix spiritual and physical energy together? Yes, we are. And you guys know the scan I'm talking about. I'm talking about the only scan that exists. I'm sorry, the only scan that matters. So we have Jiraiya telling Naruto, because it's necessary to mix energies in order to manipulate chakra, we all unconsciously swirl those energies around inside ourselves. What is he saying here? What is Jiraiya saying here? And does it contradict anything that we've heard so far? As far as Ebisu, as far as Sakura's explanation? No, it does not. It fits right in. It fits right in. The issue is people can't distinguish and delineate chakra being molded for jutsu and chakra being passively made. They can't, because they're too caught up on hand signs and they're too caught up on a fireball jutsu and regular humans, they don't have chakra in their bodies at all times. Yes, they do, dummy. Did you not hear Jiraiya? Because it's necessary to mix energies in order to manipulate chakra. Okay, cool. So you need to mix the two energies in order to manipulate chakra, right? That has to happen. Because it's necessary, so it's a necessary truth, which means it must be true. It has to happen for this. X has to happen for Y to happen, basically. So chakra must be mixed in order to manipulate chakra. We all unconsciously swirl those energies around inside ourselves. Some people happen to rotate them clockwise and some counterclockwise. We even have the diagram of the energy swirling and becoming chakra. Interesting. Interesting that he says we all. Interesting Naruto says chakra isn't something exclusive to ninja. Interesting that chakra is a binding force, etc., 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 etc. Now, this is what I don't like. Let's get to this. This is what I don't like. So, mind you guys, he was standing 10 toes deep on that having independent physical and spiritual energy doesn't equal producing chakra. That's what he said, right? He doesn't believe all humans have chakra. He doesn't believe all humans produce chakra. So when I ask him, if we're told that people unconsciously mix spiritual and physical energy together, wouldn't that mean they are producing chakra? Are we told that? You know what that means? Why would he ask, are we told that, instead of just answering yes or no? Why would he do that? I'll tell you why he did that. He did that so he can give himself a way out. He did that so I would answer. And mind you, when you know what you're talking about, there ain't no shame in your game, right? Like I said, I could have buttered this up a little bit more, but I already know what the outcome is. I already know this shit. So I don't need to hold back. Yes, we are told that. Scan provided. His response is, this doesn't say mix. Huh? This doesn't say mix. Okay, cool. Yeah, my fault. The energies swirl together, which results in them mixing. This doesn't say mix. You have to wonder why an individual, when asked to provide the scan, right, that I quoted, that is backing me up, and I provide the scan, and it says because it's necessary to mix energies in order to manipulate chakra, we all unconsciously swirl those energies around in ourselves. You have to wonder why he would say this doesn't say mix. Why are you pointing? Was that the most important thing, bro? It didn't say mix? Is that the most important thing? So we didn't see necessarily to mix? We didn't see swirl? We don't know what swirl means? Cool. My fault, bro. The energies swirl together, which results in them mixing. My bad. You know what he says next? He says it doesn't say that either. Hold up. So it doesn't say mix and it doesn't say swirl? Yo, this is how I know scaling agenda has taken over the community. This is how I know scaling agenda has taken over the community. Because if someone were to say to me, Ab-stract, Bleach characters can't walk through fucking solid walls, I would say, you know what, that's interesting. I mean, we've seen some hollows do it, but maybe they can. Or some bullshit, I don't know. Put whatever X scenario in to make it fit. And then they showed me a scan or some proof that directly contradicted what I said. And I say, oh, well, you said they can't walk through walls. He's flying through the wall, so that's not walking. It doesn't say that either. This doesn't say mix. I'm sorry. Am I good? Am I the insane one here? Let's read this again. Because it's necessary to mix energies in order to manipulate chakra, we all unconsciously swirl those energies around inside ourselves. He says it doesn't say that either. So I have to ask this man, are you saying the energies aren't swirling together? He says, I'm saying swirling together doesn't mix the energies, or at least not to an effective degree. Oh, hold up. Anyone know what he just tried to do just now? I'm not saying swirling doesn't, excuse me. He says, I'm not saying swirling together doesn't mix the energies, or at least not to an effective degree. My fault, I'm saying. He says, because characters are still required to do active mixing to produce chakra. He's wrong. Well, mixing, molding, we can split hairs on the actual definition or wording of it. So he says again, I'm saying swirling together doesn't mix the energies. Hey chat, let me ask you this. If I swirl pancake batter and egg together, will the two mix or not mix? If I swirl, I don't know, chocolate fudge and syrup together, will the two mix or will they not mix? Will it be like oil and water where they magically don't mix? Because it's necessary to manipulate chakra, because it's necessary to mix energies, so the two have to mix to manipulate the energy. The two have to mix. We unconsciously swirl. Are we saying swirling things together doesn't mix them? This be that disingenuous shit that I be talking about, y'all. This is it, live and direct. This is it, live and direct. If I swirl pancake batter and egg together, will the two not mix? Also, if it's mixing to any degree, mind you, because he says, or at least not to an effective degree, if it's mixing to any degree, they are producing chakra. 3-0. Doing more mixing wouldn't mean it's not being mixed initially. It means it's not mixed enough for techniques. Right? So he quotes again, or at least not to an effective degree, because characters are still required to do active mixing to produce chakra. See, that's incorrect, and he just contradicted himself. I'm sorry. I don't know if this is a contradiction necessarily, right? Well, no. It would be a contradiction. It would be a contradiction because if my stance is that the mixing of the energies is what produces chakra, and he's saying not to an effective degree, he is conceding that they are mixed, just not to the degree that they can use techniques. But he then goes back and says, or at least not to an effective degree, because characters are still required to do active mixing to produce chakra. That last part, to produce chakra, that's the sneaky shit you got to watch out for. To produce chakra, what you mean? They produced chakra the minute it was mixed and mastered. Wigget, they produced chakra the minute it was mixed and mix and mastered, bro. What are you talking about? Shout out to Hitman Holla, shout out to Murder Mook. That was fire. Anyways, so, yeah. He says mixing to any degree does not produce chakra. Else there would be dormant chakra waiting to be used in everyone. Means it is not mixed enough to be considered chakra. So this is incorrect. This is all incorrect. And when I initially had asked him, note to self, Ab-stract, next time you ask someone this, force a concession within the reply. Because this right here, are we told that? This is what made him so slippery. The fact that I didn't hone down on are we told that, and I just said yes, I need to be more slippery and force a concession or a contrapositive to what he is saying, right? Because my whole thing was, if we're told that people unconscious, because his whole thing was people aren't mixing these energies, regular people aren't mixing these energies. I'm like, okay, hold up. They're not doing them both. Okay, cool, I hear you. So if I can find a statement or something happening to where these two energies are being mixed by everyone, and random people, would that satisfy the burden? I should not have let him get away with, are we told that? Note to self, force concession next time. And by force concession, I don't mean like make him admit. I mean like what I mean is back him into a corner where he has to admit either this or that for that. And then I'll drop something like this. Because this just allowed him to be a lot more slippery, which is a little annoying. And here's the thing too. I really expect people to move with honor in their fucking heart. I really do. I don't expect to be told that this doesn't say mix. I don't expect people to tell me if things are being swirled together and we had the diagram showing chakra. I don't expect the next thing I hear to be, this doesn't say mix. I'm sorry, princess. My fault. Swirl. I apologize. Swirl. I don't expect people to be so disingenuous, but it is what it is. So if I swirl pancake batter, yeah, we read that. He says, right, so at least not to an effective degree. So he's already conceded that the mixing does exist, because you can't be that goddamn disingenuous to where when I put the panel or put the scan, you outright deny everything. That would be insanity. So he's already conceding to at least to an effective degree. Yeah. Because characters are still required to do active mixing to produce chakra, which is a lie. They're already producing chakra the minute they start mixing the fucking chakra or energies. Mixing to any degree does not produce chakra, else there would be dormant chakra waiting to be used in everyone. Interesting. Aren't there techniques that can just steal chakra out of people's bodies even when they're not molding it? Don't I like to bring up Jirobo eating Shikamaru, Naruto, Akiba's, and Choji's chakra? Let me ask you guys something. Why would all four of those Genin and Shikamaru and Neji, why would all five of those Genin just be producing chakra for Jirobo? If it is something that has to actively be mixed and molded, why would they just be producing chakra for Jirobo? Why? Why is that the case? Let me ask you something. Why would it be the case that spirits who don't have physical energy, so they have nothing to mix, why would it be the case that they can still use ninjutsu? Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. It's almost like the energies independently are chakra, the energies mixed together are chakra, and the energies molded for the purpose of jutsu are chakra. It's almost like I'm right. Actually, it's almost like I'm right. Crazy, right? Note to self, moving the goalpost. Note to self, moving the goalpost. Where in the series is the degree of mixing those energies ever factored in for the production of chakra? Because he made that up. It's an outright lie. So where in the series is the degree of mixing those energies ever factored in for the production of chakra? Where is that happening? Where does anyone know? Can I get a reference for that? I don't think we will. He says, where in the series does it suggest that the swirled energies is chakra? Boy, oh boy. So this is disingenuous. This is semantics. This is playing word games. This is a vain, sloppy, and weak attempt to debunk somebody. He's going to ask me, where in the series does it suggest that the swirled energies are chakra? Well, I mean, it's not like we have a diagram of the swirled energies Jiraiya is mentioning showing chakras. It's not like we don't have these things. It's not like we don't have these things. It's not like it's not right in front of us. It's very weird for you to ask that question. But you got to understand, when you're dealing with people who are scaling for agenda purposes instead of trying to be accurate and actually understand the series, this is what you'll get. This is what you'll get. So yeah, where in the series does it suggest that the swirled energies is chakra? The swirled energies are the independent components that then mix and make chakra. The swirled energies are the independent components that then mix and make chakra. Yes, when actively mixed, it makes chakra. Not what I asked though. Where in the source does it say that passively swirled energies equals chakra? What would be the actual functional difference from it being active versus passive? What would be the difference? Could he demonstrate the difference? Could he actually demonstrate it? I don't think he could. I don't think he could. Because the only thing ninja are doing, according to Jiraiya, because he can't read apparently, according to Jiraiya, what ninja are doing is they're taking that energy that is already combining and mixing with each other, and then they're further molding that energy for jutsu purposes. That's what Jiraiya is saying ninja are doing. They're taking energy that inherently exists within them, that is inherently being intertwined, mixed and mangled within them, swirled even. I don't want to use the word mix. I'll say swirled. Energies that are being swirled. They're taking that energy and then they are further molding it, compacting it, and processing it for the purpose of jutsu. Now, I was supposed to actually go over this when this video came out, but a lot of things got in my way. Reading this again, I'm taken back by this. I literally just called Davs out for one of the good guys to debate or like talk to about Naruto. So I literally just called him out, but this actually pissing me off. I forgot this happened. So, Jiraiya's statement says it's necessary to mix energies in order to manipulate chakra. So let's see. You can only manipulate chakra if it's created, and you can only create chakra by mixing energies. The energies swirl unconsciously, causing them to mix. Did I miss anything? Did that make sense to everyone here? Am I bugging? Am I tripping? Did that make sense to anyone here? Right? Jiraiya's statement says it's necessary to mix energies in order to manipulate chakra. Okay, cool. So that means if A, then B. You got to mix them to actually use them. Mix to move. Mix to use, right? So let's see. You can manipulate chakra if it's created, or you can only manipulate chakra if it's created. And you can only create chakra by mixing energies. Does anyone know another way to create chakra? Mind you guys. Now, this might sound like it's a contradiction because I just explained you can use chakra independently. But you have to understand, when you got to talk to the level of the person that you're talking to. So I don't need to introduce the things I just mentioned because this conversation doesn't need to actually bring those things up. So I'm talking to him as if I only know this way, right? I don't need to go over everything else. So in your guys' mind, disregard the things I just said about the spirits and all that other stuff. You can it's true. Don't disregard it as oh yeah, you can't use it. No, it's true. But for this conversation, you got to talk down to the person, or you got to talk to the level. Pardon me. I don't mean to be arrogant. Not talk down. You got to talk to the level at which the person's at. And that's not disrespectful, right? Because if he knew what I knew, he wouldn't be saying these things. Well, actually, if he was as honest as I was, he would have conceded to the fact that people create chakra passively. But that's just me. Right? Did I miss anything? He says, yes, you did. You can only manipulate chakra if it is created. Okay. And you can only create chakra by mixing energies. You can only manipulate chakra if it's created. And you can only create chakra by mixing energies. He then says, and you can only create chakra by actively. He says, or he thinks rather, that you can only create chakra by actively mixing energies. This is incorrect. Which is evidently different from unconscious/passive swirling of the energies. This is incorrect. So at this point, there's nothing more to talk about. I've already proved my point. I showed the scan. We literally saw the disingenuousness take place. At this point, Denzel voice. Ha ha, my man. Any last words on the matter? Because there's no reason to further have a discussion with someone who's going to act disingenuous. There's no reason to have a conversation with someone who's his first words is this doesn't say me. There's no reason to continue a conversation, a productive conversation about chakra if we're trying to get to the bottom and the root of it. Yeah, like listen, we can be engaged in the discourse and debate. You can debunk my thing, right? But at the end of the day, we're both trying to find understanding. We're both trying to find the actual answers to these things. I feel like this was a cowardly move. I really do. I really do. Right? Because you can't, in one instance, look at this diagram, see it says unconsciously swirl those energies, and see it create chakra. And we know, or at least from his perspective, mixing those energies would create chakra. You can't then say, oh, well, not to that specific degree. You can't say that, bro. To any degree. You can't say that. So that was my conversation with Davs. That happened around 2 months ago, I think. Maybe 3. Let me check in with the chat. One of the reasons why I said there are some sneaks when you shouted some people out. Yes. Yeah. Not like yes and no, Yonin, bro. It's like he be having his moments where he be cool. But he just be dumb sometimes, bro. He be cool, but then he just be like dumb, bro. It's like, why are you doing this, bro? I don't get it. Okay, let me go up. We got JJ in the chat. What's goody? What's goody? All right, y'all been yapping a lot. Let me see if I can catch up. Or can chakra just find its way through someone's system, make its own path somehow? I think I already addressed that. Characters outside from Naruto don't use chakra with different power systems other characters use. This is correct. It's just a hell of a coincidence if humans on Earth just so happen to evolve a network perfect for Otsutsuki injection later, lol. Yeah, no, it's hilarious. And we haven't even gotten to the toads having chakra. In fact, we can go to that conversation right now because the animals have chakra. So, by the way, if you guys don't know Hardy, I tell all you guys to stay away from Twitter because it's like a cesspool of ignorance, stupidity, disingenuousness, and all these other things. I only engage on Twitter because I make content out of these niggas. Literally 90% of the reason. Other than that, I'm posting videos, talking to Yonin, talking to Shinigami, whoever, right? But this nigga Hardy is probably one of the funniest people you can ever see have a conversation with Naruto guys. It's just so funny, bro. I'm not gonna lie. So he made a thread. He watched my video. He made a thread. Shout out to Hardy. We're gonna get to this in a second. By the way, not to be a dick, but it's Sukuyomi. Su-ku. Yo. My. T-S-U. Shu. K-U. Ka. Y-O. Yo. M-I. Me. LOL. Sorry, this is a pet peeve of mine. It's a reference to the deity. That's dope. I got you. All good. John also says, confusing because there's also Suki no Mi. Oh, that's hard. Suki no Mi. You know me. All right. Robert says, bro, what are you reacting to? I was just reacting to a conversation I had with Davs, aka Dumbass Davs. I was just reacting to a conversation I had with Davs on Genjutsu working cross-verse. I feel like the stance he took was pretty sneaky, disingenuous, and overall slimy. I don't think he was engaging in good faith. Towards the latter end of it, I'll say. Like I said, towards the latter end of it. Gene Fox says, I'm someone who's been around for years, seen Swag, Seth Noodles, Crisis, Tyler, you, Sage of Thick Calves. Oh, okay, Gene, my fault, OG. You've been around that long. All right, King, I got you, bro. Nice to have you. I was saying that, Gene, because I was going over some of my comments, and I saw you, bro. I literally saw your profile, but I don't remember what I responded about. I think it was something about Bleach. I can't remember. But yeah, no, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Take a look at chapter 204 of Naruto, page 20. We can pull that up right now. I don't mind. 204, page 20. Page 20. Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. So, and here's the thing. Hey, Dr. Strangle, I've said this before in live streams, bro. I've said this before. When you have enough in your arsenal, when you have enough information in your arsenal, you don't gotta come with everything in the clip. You really don't. Which is why when Davs and me were talking, I deliberately didn't put that scan in my video because I wanted someone to jump out there. I wanted someone to get out their body and tell me humans don't make chakra, so I could show them that Jiraiya panel. You know that the chakra network through which chakra flows is entwined deeply with each internal organ, don't you? Oh, looks pretty physical to me. See, but like I said, hey, we don't need to bust out everything for everything. We don't, right? I be wanting to save shit like this for a motherfucker that like really, really think he know what he's talking about, so he can sit you down. Cause we got Naruto. I didn't even put the Naruto thing in there. I didn't put the Naruto thing in that video about the chakra natures. I'm sorry, the Rasen Shuriken cutting off his chakra. I didn't put that in there. Don't need it. What I need it for? We have Momo saying chakra links everyone by nature. What I need those for? This is the hard evidence, by the way. Anyways, yeah, no, good scan. I don't even want to sit on it too long to give these niggas a leg up. I don't even want to sit on it for too long. You heard me? All right. Okay. Naruto community is split. Show screenshots of Toneri's. Hey, yo, like shit. Oh, wait. That's not exactly what happened. Tsunade says the Rasen Shuriken severed the connection between the cells and the chakra network. Let me find a scan. Okay. Got you. Please do. Yo, I got a good thread explaining why it works in Crossverse. Do you want to debunk that first? Debunk this? How you doing, Lord Ixie? Lord Ixies? I don't know what this is saying. Sure, if you have a scan, yeah, you know what? Send it to me. Or tell me where to look. If you're still here, Lord, tell me where to look. Yoni says that thread with Sasuke Solas is horrible. You don't have to waste your time on that. Okay, I got you, bro. John Mavis says, if Noodles is mad about something you said, you're doing something right. Bro argued Madara is quintillions of times into Universal because he made physical unis inside of frogs, fish, insects. From the infinite Tsukiyomi or the limited Tsukiyomi, man, oh man, you can't. Dr. Sirango says the Sage's Six Paths gave Ninshu. That means needing chakra to do stuff. Exactly. And I've always held that Ninshu is a creed. It's a philosophy. It's a way of life. He was not going around the entire planet. First off, did anyone even here's my thing with Naruto fans. And this is why I don't believe in John. This is no direction towards you at all. Or any of the good Naruto scalers / fans / supporters. This is mainly the people on Twitter I encounter. So not you at all. But this is what I mean by are we thinking critically here? Hagoromo, and mind you, the Naruto planet is 2.5 times larger at a minimum from what I've heard. Hagoromo was supposed to be walking around the goddamn planet, shaking everyone's hand, giving them chakra. That's what was supposed to happen. And then these people just developed a system. That's what was supposed to happen. He was walking around just handing out everyone. It's the stupidest shit in the world. It wouldn't hold up. It doesn't make any logical sense. It makes more sense that a philosophy spread or an ideal or a thought spread And then when people encountered people that had this knowledge and information, right? These would be the people that knew ninja arts and ninja techniques, ninshu, versus the people who were just finding out about it through the people who were using it on them. So the people who were victims of ninjutsu would then start to learn ninjutsu because these guys over here have it and they're no different than me, so I should be able to do this too. That's what makes more sense in Ab-stract's mind. Maybe I'm fucking crazy though. All right, Hagoromo will taught people how to use mental energy. Karibo, I don't know about that one, bro. I don't like that. I don't know about that one. Chapter 346 for Tsunade's statement about Rasen. Let's do it. 346. Appreciate you, John. 346. 340. Now, you'll have to forgive me because I don't remember the exact thing I said about the Rasen Shuriken. But I believe I was talking something to the effect that it attacks on such a small level that it's either by proxy affecting the chakra network or it has some entanglement with it. I don't know. But yes. Okay. His chakra network has been completely severed. It's hard to imagine, but it is so. Okay, cool. So it's been severed. His chakra network has been completely severed. It hasn't been completely destroyed, which means it still exists. It's severed, though. That means each individual thing that existed within Kakuzu is apart from itself. Like if you were to take the human body and you were to break all the bones, but all the meat in the flesh still be there, you could say the human body, or at least the bones within the body, have been severed. I think that's a fair assessment or a fair interpretation of what he's saying. So his chakra network has been completely severed. Wind-style Rasen Shuriken, how very thorough. The effect is more like a poison than physical trauma. It damages on a cellular level. As attacks go, it's incredibly minute. I believe it shapes the wind chakra into an armada of tiny swords. So an armada of tiny swords. This goes into what I was saying about remember Dav's example of a pipe and gas getting into it? This goes into my example of chakra being a subtle energy that can pierce those things, or energy itself being able to pierce the physical body just because we have pores on our body. Naruto's Rasen Shuriken is individually piercing and going through. I'm not saying it's going through the pores, mind you, right? But this lends credence to that claim, or that idea at least. I believe it shapes the wind chakra to tiny swords of armada and systematically attacks every cell in the body. Cool. So this would tell us that the cells themselves are directly tied to the chakra network because his chakra network has been completely severed. Naruto's attacks on a cellular level. So the cells and the chakra network themselves are connected. Like on the cellular level, they're connected. That's some jutsu. I suppose then it would be more practical to speak in terms of concentration rather than number of attacks. So how's Naruto? Well, there's our real problem. Figured as much. Kakashi, don't allow Naruto to use Rasen Shuriken ever again. That bad, huh? I saw those same symptoms in Naruto's right hand. Not as severe, granted, but the same. If Naruto continues to use the jutsu, then before long, he'll altogether lose his ability to wield chakra. If Naruto continues to use the jutsu, don't know why I can't read. If Naruto continues to use the jutsu, then before long, he'll altogether lose the ability to wield chakra. Altogether lose the ability. So he's not just going to lose it in his hand. He's not just going to lose it in his legs or his arms or his wrists. Him simply using the jutsu threatens his chakra network itself too. So very interesting. Now, John, again, I don't know what I said, but I do feel like this is still in alignment with my core ideas. Mind you, I was yapping a lot doing that whole dance thing, so you'll have to forgive me. But okay, cool. Where we at? I'm pretty sure the gentle fist works because it's a physical thing. I mean, Let devs tell you no, it's not. Should any Hyuga user be seeing distinct, unique chakra networks between different ninjas? Yes, that's what you could suppose if the network was being created as an attack was happening to you, that everyone would have a unique and different network. But no, medical ninjutsu is literally based on everyone having the same network. So there goes that. Because the Naruto world has chakra and everyone uses it. Oh, this is Golden Angel, by the way. Because the Naruto world has chakra and everyone uses it, that doesn't mean the other series with different power systems and different rules can't have chakra if that other series never used it. It doesn't mean they can't have chakra. Well, I'll tell you this. Naruto is the only series where people either unconsciously or consciously mix energy together to create what they know as chakra. So I would go based off of that other series don't have chakra. Is there any point where a Naruto character specifies the number of nodes in the chakra network? I don't think so. I don't know. We'd probably get it from Neji, if anyone, but I don't think so. This video game character has 200% damage on the game's inbuilt critical weak point system. So when he attacks your character, a weak point is just created on your character? Exactly, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Karibo says, interesting how a chakra scalpel cuts the chakra network without breaking the skin, but a Chidori through the chest has never interfered with the chakra network. So here's the thing. The Chidori through this, what did you say? Chidori through the chest? Yeah. A Chidori through the chest isn't causing as much or as accurate damage as Naruto's Rasen Shuriken. If you can prove that the Chidori causes accurate damage as well as Naruto, as much or as thorough or efficient as Naruto's Rasen Shuriken, you might have an argument. But it doesn't do that. We don't have a statement for that. Only Naruto's Rasen Shuriken damages on that level. So no, sir, that's not the same thing. Michael is laughing his ass off. You don't see me asking for examples. Dr. Strangle says, are we allowed to bring up Sasuke fighting the Velociraptor? We are allowed to bring up Sasuke fighting the Velociraptor. Although I think, if I remember correctly, they say that thing couldn't get put under Genjutsu because it was an Edo, but then we see Sasuke and Itachi, who's an Edo, get put under Genjutsu. I don't know what's up with these guys. They'll say anything. Karibo says Sasuke grabs the raptor's tongue to break the Edo summoner's hold on it. Okay. Karibo also says chakra is stamina, so you're saying every creature with stamina has a chakra network? Chakra is stamina, so are you saying every creature with stamina has a chakra network? I believe every creature in general in Naruto has a chakra network. So yes, that would follow. Hey, we got a spotter in the chat. What's good, my boy? Hello, my boy. How's it handling? Good, bro. Good. How are you? It's been a while, spotter. Where you been at, bro? We got Red in the chat. Oh no, we got Godflow in the chat. Hold on, we got Godflow in the chat. Shout out to Godflow. Hello, Red Devil. How are you? Yo, one spotter. I see you being screenshot and posted on Facebook. When you know what you know, does he know? He definitely doesn't know. He definitely didn't know. Even if we go with the idea that you can insert chakra into characters from other series, wouldn't it be affected by the energy of that series, which also flowing through them at the same time? And so, here's the thing, guys. I've said this many times before, too. I have no problem with Genjutsu working if it does, in fact, work. The reason I don't is because, number one, I can't be mad at a series for having a technique that works. I can't be mad at it. Number two is because even if Genjutsu does work, it's not like other series don't have a way around it or to deal with it. That's number two. Excuse me. Karibo says they swirl, but they don't mix on their own. Like you have to mix the ingredients in a cake. All right. Okay, so in your mind, when things are swirling together, they're not mixing. You're with Davs. So in your mind, if I swirl chocolate ice cream and yogurt together, you don't think they're going to mix. That's so odd to me. Let me do this. Let me see if I'm bugging. I could be the problem. Let's ask chat. Why not, right? Grok or chat? I don't know. Let's do Grok. Grok's here. Actually, no, because I need that tab open. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's just ask Grok, because I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. If I swirl. If I swirl water and what? I don't know. No, let's do something like what's chakras are energy. What's close to an energy? I don't know. Syrup. and peanut butter together, will they mix? Oh, shoot. It said no. Hold up. Maybe I'm wrong. No, swirling syrup and peanut butter will not produce a true mixture. You'll get a heterogeneous, unstable blend with streaks and pockets of each component. Okay, maybe it's the example. Okay. If I swirl. Hold up. We could be wrong. This could be funny. This could be hilarious. I might have to take down the whole live. Let me stop. All right. Well, let me ask you this. Actually, no. If I swirl, I'll see you in June. Pancake batter together, will they mix? And maybe chat is thinking of mix in a different way. Yes, but only in a limited sense. Okay, cool. So we have mixing to any degree, which is what Ab-stract said. 30, Karibo, on your head. We ain't taking that alive. We ain't doing nothing. I'm right. Let me stop. But okay. But anyways, that's not the main point anyway, though, because Jiraiya literally had the diagram of the mixing and swirling in the chakra. So, is what it is. Swirl doesn't equal mixing. Jiraiya disagrees with you, but the visual has them mixing. Thank you, Michael. Specifically from physical and mental energy upwards into chakra. Thank you, Michael. I didn't think we had to do all this, but, cool. Was good, yo, yeah. My interpretation, when you go to make chakra, which you do consciously, you will wind up swirling them one way or another. Unconsciously. The act of chakra creation has to be deliberate, but once you start making it, it's gonna swirl in some direction, and the user has no control / awareness of that. Okay, let me read that again. You said my interpretation. When you go to make chakra, which you do consciously. Okay, so we gotta preference our statements, right? Because when you're saying go to make chakra, which you do consciously, in my head, we're talking about for the purpose of jutsu, or for the purpose of technique, or the purpose of actually using in battle or something like that. So you don't gotta think like that, but that's how I rationalize it. You will wind up swirling them one way or another. Cool. Unconsciously. The act of chakra creation has to be deliberate. But once you start making it, it's going to swirl in some direction, and the user has no control / awareness of that. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one for sure. Golden Angel says, going to bed. Good night. Hey, take it easy. Thank you for stopping by. Red says it doesn't say swirl together neither. Okay. It doesn't say hold up. It doesn't say swirl together. Oh man. Y'all kill me, man. It doesn't say swirl together? Let's go to the scan. Okay, not that one. If I can find the scan. Boy, oh boy. Where is the journey at? Is it not this one, bro? I can't find a thing. I think I clicked on the first one. Let me see. Because Red playing games. No, I can't find it. Network mix. Not sure why that's the case. Cool. So it's the second one. Okay. Okay, cool. We found our way back to it. Let me see. All right. Red says it doesn't say swirl together. Okay, so here's my thing. So we have Dav saying this doesn't say mix. Yes, my fault. The energies swirl together. We all unconsciously swirl those energies around inside ourselves. Then we have Godflow saying it doesn't say swirl together. I'm so confused when we have the on-panel showing of the energies swirling together, mixing, and then making chakra. I don't understand what is going on here. I really don't. I really don't. Laugh my ass off. This guy is so unreal. I choose to believe he's fictional. He might be, bro. That's hilarious. I love Dabs, bro. Hey, yo, Dabs, man, he cool. Who the hell gave his responses likes? Bro, man, that's even more unreal to me than his denial. Yo, agenda scaling did take over, not gonna lie. It really did, bro. Crazy. At least not to an effective degree. The discussion wasn't about whether or not the chakra is mixed effectively. It's about whether or not chakra is produced at all. Come on, bro. And he thought I wouldn't notice that. He really tried to slide that in there. Like we weren't going to, hold up. To any degree, effectively, that's a concession. You just admitted that chakra is being made, just not to enough degree that you want it to be made. So yeah, complete concession. We got Cloud Axo. What's good, Axo? I think I've seen you in here before. It's been a while. How are you doing? It will not mix, but a pancake randomly appears. It says they have to be manually mixed. I don't know where you're getting that. Where's he say that? Did I not read? Let me read the full thing. In short, during this exercise, if you visualize the water, your chakra flow gets impeded. No, he doesn't say there. How to sense these kind of things on your own. So how to tell clockwise pattern your hair. Yeah, he doesn't say it there. Some people happen to rotate them clockwise. Doesn't say it there because he doesn't say it anywhere, Karibo. I don't know where you're talking about, Karibo. He doesn't say it there, Karibo. Dude is doing the verbatim fallacy. They're allowed to put headcanon on top of headcanon, but if you quote isn't verbatim, you're wrong. Come on, bro. And like the fact that the quote had to be the fact that he pointed this out, this doesn't say mix. Like that was like you got bigger fish to fry than that doesn't say mix. There's an actual image of the mixing. You got bigger fish to fry than that doesn't say mix. Bro, on panel Jiraiya is showing you and telling you what's happening. What are you talking about that doesn't say mix? You got to refute what's happening here. Mix, swirl, mix. My dude rapping like sing it. I don't know who that is, John, but that sounds hilarious. Okay, what's the issue with chakra being dormant? What is the issue with chakra being dormant? Why is that a problem? Why is that an issue? Why does the divine tree take chakra from people who aren't actively molding it? What are we talking about? How can the God tree Michael, how can the God tree steal chakra if none of its victims can actively mix chakra? Good question. It's almost like Ab-stract's right again. Let me stop. Didn't tell you summoned creatures that were pure spiritual energy, therefore hungered for physical energy. John, I actually went over this in my video for the Bleach versus Soul Crush working cross verse. Tayuya's chakra monsters were semi creatures. Shikamaru describes them as creatures mainly composed of spiritual energy in search of physical energy. So they're spiritual enough to where they're intangible, but they still, like when he threw a shuriken at it, it still had like a physical effect on it, right? It wasn't completely intangible. It still had like a physical effect to it. But yes, they are definitely starved and in need for physical energy. Hold on. Okay. John says, to be fair, I would give people the benefit of the doubt when saying they're lying. It's a possibility, but it feels crappy to be accused of lying if you're just disagreeing. But John, you got come on, bro. Come on. You can't get worse than this. This entire last segment, here's the thing. I didn't have a problem with him saying the network is created when a technique is used. I've never heard it before, but I didn't have a problem with him saying it. When I ask him, hey, if there's a scan that actually demonstrates or illustrates or denotes chakra is made passively, whether you agree with it or not, John, right? If I show that evidence that it is made unconsciously, and then you just start to pick out, this doesn't say mix. Okay, swirl together. It doesn't say that either. I'm sorry. Does the image not demonstrate that's what's going on? There's only a certain amount of BS, that I'm willing to take and stand for, which is why I had to end that conversation. And then we get to, if I swirl pancake batter and egg together, will the two not mix? They will mix. Yeah. He then moves the goalpost to an effective degree. Oh, okay. So now it's about an effective degree, which means you're conceding on it actually mixing. I don't know, man. But yeah. John Maven says, it's happened to me multiple times before. Always feels bad. I mean, call out dishonesty when you see it, for sure. I've done the same. But if you can give reasonable doubt, that's also cool. Is his reasonable doubt reasonable? Is it reasonable? I don't believe it is. I don't believe he has any legs to stand on in this conversation, because the conversation wasn't about if chakra can mix to a certain degree. If energies can mix to a certain degree, will it be chakra? No. He inserted that after he was proved wrong. Not yelling at you. I'm getting hyped. I'm getting animated. It's cool though. I'm having fun. He inserted that after. I provided evidence. So again, this is my fault, because I should have wound a tighter net. I should have wound a tighter net. I should have phrased this a lot better to where he couldn't wiggle out of it. But this was my fault. It allowed him to wiggle out of this trap or this thing, because I couldn't lock it down. But it's all good. Kariba says, there's a guy who absorbs stamina in the Chunin exam. I am camp stamina in chakra, so a character doesn't need the specific mixture in their system to be caught in Genjutsu. Yeah, no, the character needs a chakra network to be caught in Genjutsu. One of the reasons why I said, okay, I finally caught up. I would say lying as a lie requires knowing the truth and intentionally misleading, not just reflexively defending a position. At best, they're lying to themselves. I agree with that. I wouldn't. BRB dinner. We'll try to stop by later. Okay, take it easy, John. Hagoromo spread knowledge. Yes, he did. All good, bro. We're going to disagree sometimes. At least I know we can have good faith disagreements. Of course, bro. Absolutely. Hagoromo handed out chocolate like Scientology pamphlets. Who's that Scientology guy? L. Ron Hubbard or something like that? Ninjutsu is not a part of Ninshu. That's fine. I don't mind that. Loki is heretical to Ninshu. Hagoromo gave out chakra and said he gets 50% back every quarter, and they can also give others chakra and get 15%. So it's a pyramid scheme. I like it. Heterogeneous versus homogeneous makes your ass argument right. Laugh my ass off, freaking AI. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, that was funny. AI disagree with me live. That shit was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, but like I said, like we said, bro, the driest scan actually demonstrates exactly all I needed to say. So, making me feel bad. You can get a chocolate vanilla swirl that half and half, then swirl them to mix. I suppose you could, but this diagram is showing them actually mixing and swirling. Also, are we talking about a fictional energy system here where swirling and mixing can be synonymous and blatantly are via visual? There you go. The diagram showed them together as a homogeneous mixture. There you go. In the circled text box. What about the circled text box? All this talk about pancakes reminds me of my ex-girlfriend complaining about my cooking. I finally caught up, guys. Going to bounce. Good night. Hey, take it easy, Michael. The God tree can steal your raw stamina. Well, we already been over this. When stamina is the two things that are composed of chakra, and when the chakra is already being mixed, Karibo, it's stealing your chakra. Don't know how we didn't get this. Don't know how we didn't understand this. This is what I mean by Karibo. You always attend my class, but you never pass. You're a flunky. All right? Let me stop. But no, yeah, if the God tree, you're saying the God tree is still stamina, which is really just physical and spiritual energy. Ab-stract's contention is those energies exist independently, but within Naruto, they get unconsciously mixed, as said by Jiraiya here, as demonstrated by this showing here. So if the God tree is stealing stamina, it's actually stealing unmolded chakra. At least for like what we're talking about as far as ninja. Like colloquially, we would be saying it's stealing like if you wanted to say stamina to be more archaic with it, because it's like, okay, it's not mixed to that level, but that was never the conversation. It doesn't really matter. You could say that, right? But no, I would be saying it's stealing chakra because that's what it is in fact stealing. It's already mixed, so yeah. Cool. Now let's go to another conversation. Oh no, not chat. So we're gonna read. I got Yonin's joint up here, but he said I don't have to read it, so we'll skip his joint for now. Actually, you know what? We'll do Hardy's first, and then we'll see. Now, we got Hardy's thread here. Genjutsu operates on your opponent's chakra. Here's why every counter argument falls apart. Don't quote my post if you have no answer to the last question. You are allowed to cope on your own terms. Naruto, Genjutsu works on your opponent's 5 senses. You control the chakra flowing through their cranial nerves. It's a highly advanced intellectual ninja technique. Jiraiya clearly tells us how it works, but some people try misinterpreting what he said. Now, you'll see that we're taking the same approach because overwhelmingly, this is what most Naruto fans do. They will misinterpret, they will misrepresent, and reword Jiraiya's intentions, misframe his intentions. They try to frame it like chakra controlled is a result of working on the senses, not a cause. Exactly what I said, right? If you attack the senses, that triggers Genjutsu. Incorrect. No. The senses are the medium. The cranial nerves is the actual target for mental Genjutsu to actually take place. But that doesn't make any sense from a grammatical standpoint. Correct. I pointed this out too. And I'll be reposting that tomorrow. That's like saying, because I said an airplane flies, it flies by using its engine. You then try to frame that like the engine movement is a result of the flight, not a cause. It's stupidity. Exactly. So the same example I gave with anesthesia working on the body, but we understand the anesthesia has to actually hit the pain receptors to actually work on the body. It doesn't just hit the body then work. No, that wouldn't make sense. It has to do an actual cause and effect, actually take an action somewhere else for that thing to actually happen. So he says their next scope. Excuse me. He says their next scope is, but Genjutsu worked on people without chakra, but that's wrong. We know from Boruto manga everyone has chakra, or they repeat multiple times, they are born with it. So, Naruto's mom, I was born with a particularly powerful chakra. Naruto says, chakra exists within every one of us. It's not a special thing exclusive to ninja. Now, the funny thing is, people like to think that, I'll say this, the majority of Naruto fans like to think that we're stupid and we don't understand what we're reading when Naruto says everyone has chakra and it exists and it's not exclusive to ninja. Naruto is meaning exactly what he says. Everyone has chakra, as proven by Ab-stract, as proven by Jiraiya, who unconsciously mix and swirls chakra. So there's your logic link for that being true. Jiraiya said everyone unconsciously mix and swirls chakra. Ab-stract pointed to Jiraiya saying that. People in Infinite Tsukuyomi who aren't ninja had their chakra taken. Naruto literally says chakra exists within every one of us. Spirits can use chakra, which also means that it doesn't necessarily have to be mixed with physical energy. So yeah. But the way they attempt to debunk this is by saying, but it was said in this statement, they mold chakra. Now, I take pride in this part because this is some grade A abstract level work, right? And I'm hopefully having an effect in the community, right? Bleach and Naruto. Because he says the problem is that's not a debunk because it has to be mutually exclusive to be a debunk, but it's not, right? Let's read that again. He says, but the way they attempt to debunk this is by saying, but it was said in this statement, they mold chakra. So Kakashi says, first to teach you chakra control, to bring out the proper amount to the proper area. As I said earlier, this is the most important aspect when using jutsu. This can be difficult for even a skilled ninja. The amount of chakra needed to climb a tree is small, but it must be exact. And it is said that the bottom of the feet is the most difficult area to gather chakra. So basically, if you can learn chakra control, you'll be able to master ninjutsu. So he's saying this isn't a debunk because molding chakra and having chakra doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. It would only be a debunk if you were saying what Davs was saying, in that one must mold chakra in order to have chakra, but that's not true. So, and here's the part that Ab-stract always says. What you are shown is chakra for utilization for the performing of jutsu. Yes. When ninja use chakra, it's for the purpose of jutsu. That's when you'll see chakra being molded heavily, being manipulated heavily for the purpose of technique, jutsu. He then says they need to mold it for specific usage, but that's not mutually exclusive with them having it naturally. True. True facts. They need to mold it for jutsu, but it's not mutually exclusive to them having it naturally. I ask you again. Why the F would Shikamaru, Choji, Kiba, Naruto, and Neji sit in Jirobo's earth-filled prism dome thing and just let their chakra be taken? Why wouldn't they just turn off their chakra? Are they stupid? Are they dumb? Do they not know how to turn off their chakra? Or is it more likely that just being inside that thing sucks out the energy that is chakra? The unmolded energy, not unmixed, because it's mixed and it's swirled and we saw it. Like, so I don't know what we're talking about. And then he has all his examples here. We don't got to go over these examples because I believe everyone already knows what we're talking about when we talk about these things. He says, another cope is, chakra is a broad term. So basically they're trying to claim Naruto isn't saying everyone has chakra. He's saying everyone has physical and spiritual energy to make chakra. Apart from the fact that makes no sense in this context, are you saying Kawaki did not know that? It's not a special thing exclusive to ninja. So, and this would have been a great time to insert the Jiraiya skin. He doesn't insert the Jiraiya skin, so I'll just insert that for him, actually. I'll do that right now. Actually, no, I won't. I'll keep it in the tuck because I don't know why. Either a lot of Naruto fans don't know about that Jiraiya skin or they never bring it up. Probably because it hurts their argument, but I know about it, so yeah. Another reason why that makes no sense is because Naruto goes on to say chakra is a binding force. Meaning he wasn't talking about physical / spiritual energy. He was talking precisely about chakra, and he said it linked him to Kawaki, again proving it. Exactly. Another example is that Naruto can, actually, never mind. We'll leave that one alone for later. He says, another blatant evidence, and this is probably one of the strongest members of Kata, generally don't use ninjutsu, especially the cyborgs. Created, of course, there's an exception, which is Kashin Koji, and it's because he is a reincarnation. And Kawaki validates this by saying he didn't understand what chakra was and how to mold it. But that statement has to be taken with context. He didn't understand the ninjutsu chakra, the chakra that used, or the chakra that was used / tied to ninjutsu. So, yeah, Kawaki didn't think he could even use chakra because he wasn't a ninja. But Naruto tells him it's not a special thing exclusive to ninja. He has it. It exists within him. As we all remember, ninja tech uses chakra to work, so it consumes chakra to perform the things it does. Oh, hold up. I didn't even know that one. Hold up. Ninja tech uses chakra to work? Let me see. Hold up. Whoa, a weapon whose blade is one's own chakra, a chakra blade. Oh, interesting. So you'd either have to be arguing that in this exact moment, Boruto was consciously molding chakra, and you'd have no reason to make that claim with that basis, or you would have to concede that Boruto, who was not actively molding chakra, somehow just turned on that sword. Third option, Ab-stract's option, Hardy's option, the common sense option. Chakra is automatically generated and it's pulling from his chakra to use that technique or to use that sword. I think my third example is supposed to be my second, but it's okay. You guys get the point. Okay. And if you can also remember, Kawaki has the ability to manipulate his arm and change their shape. And this goes back to ninja tools being chakra, but we don't know if that's actually like true for him. So I'll I won't take that one. Oh wait, are we? Hold up. Maybe we do have to take it. He has evidence. He says, and we're told from the Boruto manga that ability is a result of ninja tech. The modification was done by Amado. So Kawaki, most of his body is powered by ninja tech. Okay. And ninja tech requires chakra. But does he say ninja tech? Oh, he does. In his whole body. This wouldn't be possible if he were an ordinary human. In his whole body, not a scientific ninja tool. Ooh, that hurts. Mind you, he just proved in the last panel that ninja tools work off of chakra. And Kawaki's entire body is a ninja tool, and he's been fighting this entire time, and he's been using chakra this entire time and just hasn't known it. He then says, and since ninja tech consumes chakra to function, it's safe to say Kawaki was using chakra even when he didn't know how to mold chakra. True. Again, here's another panel proving this. They needed to make an arm for Kawaki like they did for Naruto, but the arm works based on the user's chakra, and the doctor confirmed he could create one for Kawaki. It would just take time, implying Kawaki had chakra. Oh, good point for that. Basically proved my argument by when he says he doesn't know how to wield chakra. He is speaking about chakra as in ninshu, the way ninjas use it. That's why he links it to ninjas. Not even car members or something, but that doesn't mean he didn't have chakra. He obviously did. Exactly. Now, I've proven Kawaki had chakra even when he didn't know how to mold it, proving my entire argument. In addition, the argument that chakra molding didn't exist before Hagoromo is entirely wrong. Because Genjutsu existed with the toads, and you need chakra to make sage. Oh, this is nasty. This is disgusting. Here's the thing. What I like about what he's doing, he took a lot of things that I didn't mention, and he jam-packed it in here. He really did. But the things that I did mention, he added it where it made sense to add it. Boy, oh boy. So the argument that Hagoromo went around even teaching how to use chakra, and maybe you can argue he only taught humans. But here's the thing. He's a sage. He is the sage of Six Paths. To be a sage, you have to learn Genjutsu. Genjutsu is the deliberate mixing of one's own internal energy, chakra, with nature's energy. The toads wouldn't have known how to do that unless they had chakra themselves. So the toads having chakra debunks the idea that he at least taught them chakra, let alone humans. But hey, Another obvious hole in his argument, chakra doesn't exist naturally, is the existence of chakra pathways. There are natural organs for the flow of chakra. Apart from the fact that it makes no sense to have an organ for flow of something that's not inherent to your biology. I agree. If chakra didn't exist before Hagoromo, why do people have chakra pathways? A question they'll never be able to answer. Unless you want to take Dav's or John the Maven's route where it's created on the spot, but then where's the evidence for that? Did Hagoromo also invent that and put it in their bodies? Good question. And Occam's razor would have you would have to apply. You assume Hagura will invent the chakra pathways. You assume the God tree doesn't absorb chakra, but it absorbs spiritual energy and it combines it. And also assume Jiraiya is wrong. That argument needs more assumption for function to function than mine. Yeah. Yeah, fire. So that was Hardy's. That was Hardy's thread. Good thread. Good thread. We got Pac-Man in the chat. What's good, Brody? How are you? There's the blanket term chakra and the specific separation in multiple diagrams. Yeah, I agree, Karibo. But we already know they speak about chakra archaically and colloquially. So we don't need to actually do that. We always do that. Okay. When breaking Genjutsu, they use their chakra to disrupt the Genjutsu. The salutation is never stopped. Oh, the solution is never stop producing chakra. Exactly. See, but Dr. Strangle, they realize that if they use these common sense A plus B plus C or A to B to C logic, they realize if they do that, their claim for Genjutsu working goes out the window. Because if you're using chakra in the attack of Genjutsu, and that chakra is affecting the other person, and the ways to get out of it are disrupting your own chakra or someone funneling their chakra into you, this would tell us that everything having to do with Genjutsu is chakra related, number one. And if it's chakra related, it's chakra network related. You can't have one without the other. If it's chakra related, it's chakra network related. Because no function can take place. I'll say this. No meaningful function can take place in a human body without the chakra network. Whether that be Genjutsu, whether that be healing. And we can look at Naruto not being able to be healed because Kabuto cut off this specific chakra network from the Nine Tails that heals him. We can look at Kidomaru not being able to channel his chakra after Neji hit his Tenketsu. All these are examples. All these are examples of the network being crucial and chakra playing a part as well, but the network being crucial. Kariba says the dome absorbed their internal energies regardless of mixed or not, so there's no issue. Yeah, see, there's no issue, but the thing is this. We know they're mixed because Jiraiya said they are. So, sorry. Naruto was talking about the link, which would be the idea of Ninshu. He didn't say anything like that, number one. He didn't say anything like that. Don't know where you got that. He's not talking about no damn link. He says chakra exists within everyone. He doesn't say nothing about no Ninshu. He doesn't say the philosophy of Ninshu or chakra. He says chakra. What about other abilities that absorb chakra? Not all ninja techniques uses the user's chakra. Not all ninja technique uses the user's chakra. I don't know what that means, Karibo. That sword was a defect and was just pulling his energy. It doesn't. So here's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's a defect. What matters is the fact that Boruto wasn't molding chakra and the sword still activated because he had chakra and was making it unconsciously. That's what matters. If Naruto fans read Boruto, would they unironically say that robots in other verses would have a chakra network / chakra circuits induced in them as well? They might, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. They might, because apparently to them it's subtle, it's spiritual. It gets made when you get attacked by it. Kawaki has nanotech and mostly focused on hand-to-hand early on. He did, but he also utilized his arms and his legs, and he turned them into weapons and stuff, and that would take chakra because it's a scientific ninja tool, and ninja tools are weapons that use chakra. You can't stop producing stamina. That's how life works. The same way you can't stop producing chakra. I completely agree, Karibo. Completely agree. Hold up. Okay, cool. So cool. We'll review one more thread, then we'll get out of here. Now, this is the debunk to Hardy's thread. Kino, what's good, bro? Yes, you are a little too late. Go back, though, because this one's about Genjutsu. It's pretty good. All right. This is a debunk to Hardy's thread. He says, debunking this sorry excuse of a thread. So he says, the foundation of the power system is chakra formation. On this foundation, everything regarding the power system revolves, meaning even a plot hole can destroy everything. This means regardless of the scenario that can be easily taken out of context, applying this gives clarification. So we've all seen this before, right? First, in the case where a ninja is going to use taijutsu, stamina control is simple. Taijutsu does not require signs at all, nor, with a few exceptions, do they require chakra. It is only necessary to expend the precise amount of stamina required by that particular move. However, in the case of ninjutsu or genjutsu, one must first amass the amount of chakra required to perform the particular technique. So, all this makes sense. From the stamina to amassing the chakra for the technique, if you follow my logic, all this shit fits in and makes perfect sense. So stamina is being used here to indicate those two energies, physical and mental, right? You need both of those to operate. You need both of those to live. That is your stamina. In fact, if we do this, no, not that. Some bleach stuff. Where is... Not that. Y'all know I love me some Merriam-Webster's, that is. I don't know why we're taking so long. Okay. If we do this, stamina, the bodily or mental capacity to sustain prolonged stressful effort or activity. Interesting how stamina is literally physical and spiritual energy, right? Cool. So we got that. I tell y'all, I cover all fronts. So, stamina control is simple. However, in the case of ninjutsu or genjutsu, one must first amass the amount of chakra. This makes perfect sense. If you have the energy in your body that's already being created via those unconscious mixing, amassing the amount of energy you need for a technique makes sense. We can move on. Next, one must use complex signs. So what does complex signs do? To control and manipulate the chakra based on the individual technique. So, the signs are what take that chakra, manipulate it, and control the technique. Of course, the energies used in taijutsu, ninjutsu, or genjutsu are expended and thus are lost. So if your stamina and chakra both fell to 100%, you would die. And this makes perfect sense because your stamina represents those energies, and your molded chakra is just a conversion of those two things in the form of expelled energy. It makes perfect sense. I don't know why people don't get this shit. Well, no, I do know why. Agenda scaling, I know why. He says, in a prime example being this. He says, looking at this, a layman with no knowledge of Naruto will say everyone is born with chakra. But when you apply the foundation, it tells us that Kushina chakra is so strong upon production, not existing passively in her. So here's the thing with that. Let's go back to that conversation about chakra pressure, right? You could argue that Hashirama has powerful chakra existing within him, right? Would this mean it's only powerful when he's flexing it? No, that's not what that would mean. Let's look at his thing again. He says, looking at this, a layman with no knowledge of Naruto will say everyone is born with chakra. But when you apply the foundation, it tells us that Kushina's chakra is so strong upon production, not existing passively in her. So, If you are actively producing chakra, yes, it can be strong. In the cases of Hashirama, in the cases of Kushina and her ancestor, right? In fact, the first Nine Tails Kinchugi was also a Uzishio Kanuchi, which made it a tradition. Why? Because they both had strong chakra. So again, this is one of the cases where what he's saying isn't mutually exclusive. You can have strong chakra upon production, but you can also just produce chakra naturally. He hasn't disproved that. That's the problem with this. That's the problem with this right now. He hasn't disproved that. This also applies for KKG and Kai too. This misconception was boosted by the fact that the verse has child soldiers who train from a very young age to use chakra. We just saw Boruto pick up a chakra eating sword, and the sword worked because he had chakra unmolded. This is incorrect. He wasn't using chakra or producing chakra, so that's wrong. This panel too was heavily taken out of context. It didn't imply that chakra exists passively, rather states that everyone has the capability to do so, not exclusively meant for ninjas. Well, that would be true if he said something like, not only ninja can use chakra. He doesn't say that though. He says chakra exists within every one of us. He doesn't say only ninja can't. He doesn't say only ninja can't use chakra. Let me slow down. What he's not saying is that only ninja are able to use chakra. He's not saying that. He's not talking about the utilization of chakra. He's talking about the existence of it. He's talking about it's the ontological factor of chakra, the being. You know what I mean? It exists in everyone. That's what he's saying right now. It has nothing to do with being able to do something with it or whatever. He's just talking about its existence. It's not a special thing exclusive to ninja. Boy, I be getting hype. I gotta turn it down. All right. What exists in everyone is stamina, which actively gets converted to chakra. See, that would be correct if the Jiraiya panel didn't exist. That would be correct if the God Tree didn't passively suck out chakra from everyone. That would be correct if Jirobo didn't passively suck out chakra from all the ninja over there. That would be correct if spirits couldn't use jutsu. You see how much shit I have to deal with and to work with, bro? There's no way you can get around this as a fact, bro. Another bold headcanon claim. Another bold headcanon claims active production of chakra is for ninjutsu. That's true. Active molding for chakra is for jutsu purposes. That's just a fact. Chakra after production is controlled or converted to ninjutsu or genjutsu while being channeled to achieve its purpose.
Sorry, it's gonna get loud for 2 seconds.
I don't know why he would even debunk. I don't even know why he would debate that. It's a necessary truth within the series. When chakra is being molded by a ninja, it's usually for the purpose of jutsu. They're not just molding it to waste it. They're usually going to be doing something. Claiming it is not mutually exclusive, when in reality there is no mutuality between both of them, and they were made up by him. Because he couldn't even present a panel like this showing chakra passivity to prove it isn't mutually exclusive. He is rewriting Naruto LOL. So, he's not rewriting Naruto. You're misusing the term passive. No, you haven't missed me reacting to Sage's video. We might still do that. What I'll probably have to do is react to Sage's video another day because it's almost 10 o'clock. All right, you said I'm misusing the term passive. How am I misusing the term passive? Exactly. Claiming it is not mutually exclusive. When in reality, there is no mutuality between them. They were made up by him because he couldn't even present a panel like this showing chakra passivity to prove it isn't mutually exclusive. Again, this panel doesn't show anything aside from stamina is both of those energies, and that chakra has to be molded for techniques. This doesn't say it doesn't exist independently without it being molded. Problem with his logic is that it doesn't even apply to Naruto. As stated earlier, chakra needs to be produced first, and nowhere did it state it is passively there in the first place. So again, Either Naruto fans are ignorant of Jiraiya's statement, or they stay away from it because they know it would destroy their entire argument. Again, context. He is now denying the context of what the author is conveying. Everyone possesses stamina. Everyone possesses physical and spiritual energy. So saying it doesn't apply when you say no to the context is crazy. A good connection goes through two phases, huh? A good connection goes through two phases. Active means you are the one initiating or powering the link. Passive means you are waiting, listening, or reacting to an external force or signal. Another thing taken out of context, huh? Oh, wait. Another reason why the chakra, the true nature, is a binding force. I don't know what this is relation to. We were even given a more practical example using Kawaki's prosthetic hand, proving further the active nature of chakra because Naruto, while asleep, doesn't have chakra running. That's not true. Let's see what Naruto says. Does he say mold chakra? But it doesn't. But doesn't this mean you'll have to need chakra around the clock? Oh, won't that be tough? Well, it's no harder than maintaining a shadow doppelganger. So this is incorrect. He's wrong, and I knew it. I knew it. This is incorrect. The reason he has to need chakra is because he's using it for jutsu, because this is a ninja tool. Ninja tools take chakra. But we have to remember, this is a passive thing because it's unconsciously molded, but also something that can be molded for the purposes of jutsu. They're not mutually exclusive. This is his problem right here. Doesn't this mean you'll have to need chakra around the clock, Dad? Well, it's no harder than maintaining a shadow doppelganger. Of course, it'll probably stop functioning while I'm asleep. Because he's not making the... It'll stop functioning while he's asleep because he's not outputting inadequate enough of chakra. Just like how he can't maintain a shadow doppelganger in his sleep because he wouldn't be outputting the right quantity of chakra to maintain the shadow doppelganger. Same shit. This wouldn't mean he doesn't have chakra in his body, though, at all. Bro, Naruto is overflowing with chakra. Are you serious? This is just contradicting because Tobirama couldn't sense chakra because he wasn't molding. Again, we're talking about ninja techniques. Sensing other chakras, that's a ninja technique. That's chakra molded for the purpose of jutsu. The difference being that being in the presence of overwhelming power is not the same thing as sensing. Okay, my fault. If he's just talking about the comparison between Kawaki sensing Naruto and Tobirama being able to sense someone, probably Madara, I can give him that. The thing about ninja tools is that they have different mechanics and aren't assigned to one mechanism. The chakra blade uses one chakra, Delta absorbs chakra and reserves it. See, but like I said, the overall thing about the chakra blade that Boruto used is that it took his chakra without him even needing to mold it because he was not in a fighting scenario or situation, so that it actually debunks the idea that he wouldn't have chakra because it was taking chakra from him anyway. One thing that was also highlighted upon this is that ninja tools give one the access to all kind of ninjutsu without using one's own chakra. So saying the ninja tools use chakra is saying that this is a plot hole. Okay. So he's saying the ninja tools don't need to rely on chakra. That could be true. But we know the sword relies on chakra. And what is being implied here is compatibility, by the way. Kawaki's complex body made it nigh impossible for Katsuki to produce one, so by using the arm meant for Naruto, chakra was used to forcibly attach the hands. The toad argument is also stupid because the knowledge of chakra always referred to humans, and them having knowledge didn't any way whatsoever prove that chakra. I don't. Okay, he's typing incoherently. So he's saying the toad argument is stupid because the knowledge of chakra always referred to humans. I don't know why it would refer to humans when we're told that Hagoromo was the one who passed chakra around the world, because that would be not true. And and this is just a little bit more common sense. If the animals on the planet have chakra, why wouldn't the humans of the same planet have chakra? Sure, it could not be the case, but it's more likely to be the case that these organisms share the same thing because they're all of the same planet and subject to the same things. But sure, I understand someone not taking that. Okay. Chakra pathways don't prove that chakra passively exists, in fact, running around the body 24/7. Do chakra pathways prove that? No. Chakra pathways don't prove that. I agree. Jiraiya proves it, actually. Basically, bringing this up is saying that chakra can't move without chakra network, which of course isn't true. Ab-stract has never said such a thing. I believe chakra can be imbued, coded, or inserted in things. I just believe that it won't cause any meaningful effect without the chakra network, as I've went over many times. That would be Genjutsu. That would be Naruto's healing factor getting cut off. That would be things like the curse mark not working because of Neji hitting the Tenketsu on Kidomaru's chakra points, etc., etc. The God tree is the biggest proof that doesn't support him. Interesting. It doesn't support him. If chakra was truly passive, why didn't Naruto die from this? Because saying it is passive is saying stamina isn't necessary. Why didn't Naruto die from what? If he's talking about when the third Hokage saved Naruto, he didn't die from it because he has a lot of chakra to absorb. It's very easy. Also, Naruto was super tired when that tree came in contact with him and was stealing his chakra. So I don't know why he would ask why he didn't die from it. Why is it when Naruto sleeps, he produces no chakra? That's not true. He produces chakra. He doesn't produce enough chakra in enough quantity to maintain Kawaki's arm. Just like he wouldn't produce enough chakra in quantity to maintain a shadow clone or KCM while he's sleeping. This is just a thread born from cope with no stand. Okay, cool. We're done. We're done. And then we get Yoroi and Sasuke, and this is from Zabs. Yoroi has the unholy ability to absorb another's chakra.
Are you eating dinner tonight, mister? It's almost 10 o'clock.
Yes, I am, friend. Actually, you know what? No, because I might not wake up. I'll probably have like a snack or something. I'm good. Yoroi has the unholy gift to absorb another's chakra. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant art whereby simply pressing the palm of his hand against an opponent's body gives him the ability to consume their mental and physical energies. So, I don't know if Zaz knows this, but this proves my point. This would prove, and you know what, fair enough, I don't want to know, he said the threat is bad. He said he generally made terrible arguments. But who is he talking to? He doesn't actually at anyone. Okay, he doesn't understand this actually favors our argument. Because let's assume Yoroi, well, let's not assume. He takes physical and mental energy. I've already said these two things independently would be considered chakra because we are spirits using mental energy or spiritual energy by themselves. And even if you don't want to take that route, even if the energies, oh my God, I need a cough drop, bro. Excuse me. This is what happens when I be going off one night, man. But it's okay. Yeah, so the spirits can already use mental energy. And the fact that the energies are swirling and mixed together, him being able to take both of them isn't really a surprise either. And once all your chakra has been devoured, Sasuke, you will have no recourse but to call upon the power of the curse mark. Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't call that a debunk. You forgot to mention this example. This is chakra being used to ensnare, but also travel through inanimate objects, showing how chakra can enter anything seamlessly. Also, Ina's ability of implanting chakra with the mind to transfer into one's CNS. So, this makes sense within Naruto because we understand that the cells have their own form of a chakra network which moves chakra throughout the body. So Ino's cells are in her hair, and that is what is allowing her chakra to travel to Sakura. That's number one. But number two, like I said, it doesn't really matter because I don't believe that, or no, I should say it doesn't matter because I agree. You can insert, coat, or imbue things with chakra. But when we're talking about having any meaningful effect, like Genjutsu, or using certain healing techniques, or using curse mark, we've seen that shutting down the chakra network or inhibiting the chakra network directly stops these things from taking course. And what we don't see is these individuals, when their chakra network is impeded by something, create a whole new fundamental system. We don't see that. All right. That is so funny. Okay, cool. Let me catch up on chats, then we out of here tonight. I'll watch Sage's video later. Notice how there are two tube coming out of the stamina for both mental and physical energy, i.e. they're both stamina. There you go. That makes perfect sense. I took a long ass nap after school. Got you. The cyborgs in where people enhance with scientific ninja tool. If someone wants to do goofy robot talk, there's Itachi putting Mecha Naruto under Genjutsu. That's hilarious. Jirobo and the God Tree are actively absorbing energy. Chakra, I agree. Depends on which part of the franchise you're scaling. I think Genjutsu working on a robot is weird. It favors the argument that chakra is used as a blanket or broad term. The thread you are trying to agree with denied that. Oh no! Listen. I know what he was trying to do. I know what he was trying to do with this, but in his effort, he ended up strengthening my point, or me and Hardy's point, because Sasuke directly says he's feeding on his chakra, which is his mental and physical energy, whether that's separate, molded, or just passively mixed. Under my interpretation, all these things work. They're saying they can't find your account. But all right, that was fun. I gotta get out of here before I lose my voice. You guys have a good night. It is 9:38 where I'm at. Hopefully the next stream will be back. Are we doing anything Friday?
Yes.
What are we doing?
Tulip.
Tulips. Tiptoe through the tulips. Yes.
If you still want to do it Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to go shower?
There was a gym. Actually, I'll probably use that.
You don't have to fully shower. Just change clothes.
Mm-hmm. Did we pick a time?
After work.
Well, like what time?
The last ticket available is 6. So I guess 5.
You're gonna do 5.
Mm-hmm.
That works.
That work for you?
Yeah. All right, yes. You guys take it easy. I gotta take cough drops. No, I'm playing with you. Wait, don't leave yet. Come back. Jack.